What up? We are back and we are live and we are doing another episode of What's Your Grail. I'm your host, Tony Sanders, and I got my boy, WhoDat Comics with me.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing tonight? How y'all doing tonight? I'm excited about this show because I like talking about grills and
Oh, dude, your
yeah.
videos, your last two videos you did, man, yeah, you was on point with them. I like that. You was focused but not finished, as you said.
Yeah. I took that from this guy who talks about like saving money and getting out of debt and stuff like that. So I was like, that's basically what you gotta be. You gotta be. The main part is focus. So everybody needs. So what's your grail? Whatever your grail is, it is in reach unless it's like what I say is a holy grail. You know those action ones and Superman ones. Those are holy grails because they're
Yeah,
harder to obtain.
that is true. Because I was like, well, I like even if I sold my house,
You might get a coverless copy.
yeah, just probably just the front cover. We're like, here's the front cover of it. Look at it. There you go. So let me give a shout out to people in the chat. We got Black Universe Gaming. We got Baked Snake, my moderators, Comic Books NYC, Economics and Comics because he's sick. Heather Johnson, Comic Head 84. Who else? Beyond the Blast Doors. What's up? Let's see who else is looking at. You know what I'm saying? Perry Comics. What's up, bro? I thought I seen him in there. And Ed D. So
I'd like to say hello to everybody. Thank y'all for stopping by.
So who that, man? Everybody knows you got them big boy books. And I ain't even gonna play with you because I be like watching your videos. I be like, man, he got some killer books. And I be like looking like, dang, like I mean, I got like this ain't like that's just stuff to look at. What you got, man, that's that cream rise to the top.
Yeah. But I always tell people like, that I had started when I started getting back into collecting. Because people like I tell people a lot of time my like origin story, if you want to say. When I was growing up, we used to go to the mall or grocery store, stuff like that. The mall mainly I remember. And they have the bookstores. If people remember the malls, they always had a bookstore in the mall. And in
Yeah,
those
yeah.
bookstores, they had comic books. So first thing I gravitated to was the comic books because I could just read them because I see people in the bookstore reading. So I just pick one up, read it, and put it back. Mom said, "Let's go, let's go." So I never really collected because we couldn't really afford it. It was other thing. It was three of us, but I always read stuff. And then as I got a little older as a kid, they started having the TV shows, the X-Men TV shows, the Ninja Turtle TV shows. A lot of those stuff kind of got me even more into it. That so it's but that stuff behind you, that stuff can always lead you to like another grail.
Yeah,
You
that
can
is
always
true.
go back and get some. You can go back and get those. And that's how I kind of talked about in my video. It's just things you can use to obtain other things you want, and you can go back and get those. Man, those other things are easily obtainable.
Let me give a shout out to the Slab Dragon himself, TJ Watson in the house. Discovery Bay Comics, bro. Keep up what you're doing because I love to have a TV guy for YouTube. That is cool.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Like I wake up in the morning before I go to work, and I say, "Oh, let me see what's coming on today."
nah, for real, yo. I'm like, what's coming on today? I'm like, let me check Discovery Bay. What's he got to say? Genius, man. I give him genius credit for that. That's cool. Black. What else we got? Let's see. We got TJ Watson. Let's see. Roman Curtis. What's up, Roman Curtis? Splash Page Comics. Mr. White Gloves himself. So,
Splash Face, big shout out to him. That dude has a
oh,
massive. I'm gonna make fun of him. He's gonna probably laugh. He has a massive DC collection, guys. He's a big DC collector. And he's an inside joke. If people know him, he's really a Marvel guy. But this is one to mess with Splash.
I watched like a few of his videos, like when he had them. I talked to him about New Year's Eve too. He had those vacuum sealed long boxes, and he'd open up like a couple of them, and he was pulling out multiple keys like, on top of keys. And I was like, man, this dude's. And he had the white gloves on, and I loved it, man. It was cool.
It had like when I first met him. met him long time ago on another channel that we used to do little talks, and I ended up buying some white gloves and was sending them to people when they bought books from an auction. I sent it to people, and like they were like, "Man, hey, thank you for the white gloves." They said, "Thank you for the books." Thank you for the white gloves.
Comic Head, yeah, Comic Head. I got plans for you, bro. I got. You gonna be on one of these shows. I got Comic Head. I seen I'll be watching your videos, Comic Head. Don't think I don't. And Wingnut, what's up, bro, man? I got my on you too, Wingnut. So, I'm just gonna show like real quick, like not my personal girls, but my son's, because my son is a Moon Knight fan, and I've been working with him on getting all I can on Moon Knight for him, and so like these are his grails, his, like, I guess you could call them personal or what you want to call them, but these are his grails. So I'm gonna show my son's stuff off, because I don't show most of my stuff off, but like there's some stuff that's back off in there. But now first is his Marvel Spotlight. I got this from the NY Warriors. Shout out to Jeff,
one of those auctions.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Johnson, the mayor. I got this off of him for my son, and I was like, I wasn't gonna lose that auction bid. I was like, I kept bidding and bidding, but this is my son's Marvel Spotlight right here. I ain't got the Werewolf by Night yet. It ain't in the budget for him yet. I'm working on it.
Hey! A good mid to lower grade one. You can find those out there. You can find them out there.
See, what's messed up is my bro at my shop. My bro that has the shop. He had one, right? And I told him, he knows my son likes Moon Knight. And I was like, so I came in the shop and I was like, I heard you had the, Werewolf by Night. And he was like, it walked out the door, man, right before you got here. I was like, no, not to be doing that. But he was like, yeah, he had this. So I was like, I got my son the Moon Knight #1. I got him that. And so he likes that, the origin of Moon Knight right there. And this right here, I went to Tulsa World Con, and I met what's his name? Sidem, the guy that draws the zombies, Marvel zombies. And,
that's Arthur Sudan.
Yeah, Arthur Sudan. Yeah, he signed it right here. It's Moon Knight, and he signed it for him right there. And he did the cover as well, so I got him to sign it for him. So that's another one of his little personal grails that he has. It's a signed book for him. But I'm working on getting him another one. But this one is his other favorite one right here. Got him some splat artwork right there.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Signed. It's a 9.4 Stephen Platt, or Splat as I like to call him.
And see, I like that. It's like I'm finding out more and more people are collecting with their kids.
Yeah.
And it's cool. It's real cool, and it's good to find out that more people are doing the same thing like you're doing. Yeah. Because you really don't know that.
Hold on, I don't mean to interrupt you. Nah, TJ, I ain't putting it on Instagram because you done burned me twice. You burned me twice. You burned me with the Haunt 9.8. He put up a 9.9 on me. I was like, man, TJ. And then so I sent John's Comics with Kid. I sent him a Century because he wanted Century for 2019. So I sent it to him. And TJ sent him a Minty Mint. I'm gonna say Minty Mint copy, a Century. And it was like, oh, now you have a reader copy and a green copy. But I love you, TJ, man. You're crazy.
Look, I got a few, like when you was pulling, I said, I got a few books that I kind of got for my daughter. When she's old enough, she can more appreciate it, because she's only 3 now. So, she'll rip these up. Oh, yeah. But this one I got done at the Wizard World by Ken Lashley. So it's Shuri. She's turning in like she has the Black Panther suit on. If you kind of see it kind of turn, she's about to, it's coming on, and then she's holding an Infinity Gauntlet. Because I was like, she's always in control of my daughter. So I said she needs the Infinity Gauntlet. So I was like, man, he knocked it out of the park with that one. So it was like something that I'm gonna pass on to her. Another one that I got that I forgot what I got this like eBay for like really cheap, but Marvel's first African American superhero, Misty Knight, first appearance. Oh, and then I got the cover. Well, one of the artists to sign. He signed it in that kind of paint, so you can't see it great on camera, but sees it great in person. But got that for her. it's not like a high grade. Definitely has some issues, but I was like, should be something that she can hold on to. And the big one that's kind of like mine, but eventually I'll pass it on to her.
I want to pull it out. Let's see.
It's the Giant Size X-Men #1.
Ooh, 9.2.
The reason behind, like, everybody, gets it for the whole team. I mainly got it because it was the first appearance of Storm. Growing up watching the cartoon, man, Storm was awesome. So that's that, but I couldn't pass up a great deal for for a 9.2 at the time. A lot of these stuff I got at the time, but not what the prices are now.
Yeah. See, that's nice right there. See, and that's cool. Like, and that's what I tell my kids is like all this stuff back here. That's y'all. I'm investing this for y'all. I'm not flipping none of this. I'm not like I'm sitting on it and just like whatever they do with it, they do with it. But it's like I'm collecting it right now, but I'm giving it to them later on.
Yeah, it's I think it's, and then you kind of have something to do with them when they get older.
Yeah. So
and I apologize to everybody when they hear my daughter in the background.
Oh, that's just little WhoDat. So anyway, let's so what is your we know you got them big boy books. So what is
like you said, you got the personal grills, you got modern regular grails.
Yeah.
Some people certain books I might have, they might say that's their holy grail.
Yeah,
it depends. It depends on the person. One of my I got this book right before the hype. And I'm happy I did. But this one is like a personal grail for me. So it's like a personal. Some people might say it's holy grail, but first appearance of Black Panther, Fantastic 452. I got this. This was an old label. I think I showed it in one of my videos when I first got it. But it was an old label. It never was pressed or cleaned because it had a name. Somebody's name was written on the back in pencil.
Oh, for real? Man.
Yeah, so it was like I knew it was never pressed and clean because of the name written in pencil. Obviously, the name's not there anymore. It came back looking way better than when I sent it in, but it still came back as the same grade. But the page quality got better.
Let me give a quick shout out real quick to Tony Trombetta, the president of EGS Grading Services. He's grading some books for me right now. And man, yeah, I sent him my Ghibli Alpha Flight 51 sign. So yeah, dude, I'm gonna do a review on their services whenever I get it back. So
yeah, I'm gonna have to check them out. I saw him with Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie.
So I haven't had a chance to. Busy life, but definitely want to check it out. Send a few books. I don't, I always like to try new companies out and give them a shot, and then give a good little review.
Yeah, I plan on getting a review on them, and because I wanted to see about their signature verification and stuff, and it's like, because I like theirs because I looked at it and I was like, they give you a gold label, so it's like, I mean, like you get the red label from CBCS,
yeah,
and then what is it? I don't know about PGX. What is it, like a silver or gold?
I don't know. They got silver, and then they have like a brownish gold or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know, and I'm probably 100% wrong.
And then I know what is it? CGC gives you a green label.
CGC gives you a green label unless you cheat the system and get them to sign in the inside cover.
Yeah, they don't write what they put. It'd be like, oh, on the inside wrote this,
Yep, because I'm happy I found that out because it will make an appearance on Slab or Not the Slab, but I have a book that's signed by I think Kevin Eastman and Peter Lear, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to slam because I was thinking it's going to be a green label. But then when I read about and heard about the little trick, I was like, oh, I'm sending that in.
So shout out real quick to Marvel Joe 67, my boy Jeffrey Comic-Con in there, Soldier Only. And then who else we got in here? Stay Puff is up in here. Regina's Hair Salon. Hey,
at first I thought that said Reggie's Hair Salon, and I was like, wait, isn't he bald? I looked really quick. I said Reggie's Hair Salon.
Yeah, so man, I've been looking to try to get that Fantastic Four 52, and I've been looking at that. I was like, that's clean though. I like that. But ever since that Black Panther movie hit, boy, woo!
Oh my god, dude, I was happy I got it because I've been wanted it, and then when I heard them gonna put him in Civil War, and that was before they got the Spider-Man part. So he was gonna have a even bigger role than he had. So I was like, man, I got to get this before that movie comes out. And I'm happy I did, because like it just blew up. And like and now it's kind of the middle grades. Like anything raw and middle grade, it's just kind of, you know, settling down. But anything like 8.0 and up, oh my God, like an 8.5 price and a 9.0 is like $3,000 difference.
Yeah, what's crazy is even like 53 is kind of jumping up there too. And it's like, that's kind of weird too. But I mean, like, I guess, you know, so because like how high. Well, that's just like if you go look at what is it, Hulk 181, it jumped up so high that 180 jumped up, and now like 182 is actually going up too.
Yeah, starting to go up. And I was like, man, you could, you know, not even a year ago, you could find 182 for like $20.
yeah. I seen one the other day, 182. Somebody was like $100. I was like,
man, I was like, I just saw that for 20. What are you? $100. He's like in the first panel, and that's it.
Yeah. And see, what's crazy is like, all right, that's like another show I would like to do. Well, talk about like another discussion, but how second appearances, man, like sub-second appearances are, you know, they jump up a little bit because you can't get the first one. But the only one that I know that does not jump up ever is Deadpool. You can get them X-Force, what is it, X-Force 2 or what is it?
What's it? I think it's X-Force 2.
Yeah, you can get them all day long.
All day. For like $1.
You get that 98? Nope.
Oh my God, that's it. That one, and I'm trying to think. They got other ones but it's not major characters like Deadpool. But it's crazy how that's like. Why is this? Well, maybe because they made 1 million or 10 million copies. Who knows?
Yeah. So what's another
talking about Hulk 181?
Oh, there it is, Jeffrey. There it is, Jeffrey.
Now this is a book. All right. I'm an X-Men fan. Like my three, I would say, besides Black Panther, and you know, I count Black Panther kind of separately because he appeared in Fantastic Four. But my favorite groups like X-Men, and that includes Wolverine. Yeah, I got Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man. You know, but this is like a book because CGC graded to over 10,000 copies so far. So you know it's plentiful out there.
Nah.
Not counting CBCS, PGX, all these other grading companies.
So would you say that is that like a personal grail or like one of your grails?
This is a grail and not a personal grail, because personal grail I'm more hesitant to get rid of without replacing it. This one is just a grail because this one is like a book I want to use to get what some people might say a holy grail. It would be AF-15, Amazing Fantasy 15.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I was telling people. You got to use what you can get. You're like, oh, I'm never going to get AF-15. Be like, but you have a Hulk 181 and First Punisher. You got all these other books. I said, what would you rather? And I talked to some other guys before. What would you cherish more, or rather more? You know, the AF-15 or, you know, Giant Size X-Men 1, this Hulk 181 and some other books, and maybe throw in a little cash. I was like, I'll take the AF-15.
Yeah, that's true. Because like them are like they're up there, man. That's
like that top tier Marvel, man. It's like, you know, Amazing Fantasy 15, Fantastic Four 1, Hulk 1. Those are like that top tier, you know. So it's like this is a top tier for what is it, Bronze Age?
Yeah.
But you know, that top tier Silver Age, man, it's never going to decrease.
Oh no, that's true. And it's like I always be seeing like those Hulk 1s like restored in a 0.5, and man, the price is crazy. I was like,
and it just keep going up. Like even when the market crashed, like it might have not went up, but it stayed like level. He like, well, it's like the market crashed. Nobody's buying comics, but Hulk 1 still selling for $10,000.
Yeah,
it's like okay. But I mean that's like a grail to me, like a regular grail, not a personal grail. I mean, like I said, I think it's a book I would use to get a holy grail / personal grail, because I kind of consider those in the same boat.
Yeah. Now, see, like a grail for me is like I want to get X-Men 1. Like, you know, that's like up on my list because, like, as you can see, I'm an X-Men fan myself, and that's like up on my list to get. And I'm trying 2019. I'm gonna try. Lord willing and the wife willing.
Look, you might have to tell the wife, look, I'm selling some of these books. I'm gonna sell. I hate to sell it, but I'm gonna sell some of these books to fund it.
Yeah,
to fund it. So it's not too bad.
no.
Yeah, because you got to join the club with me. You got to join the club.
Oh man, see,
you got to do this like this. Now this is a personal grail / holy grail, but it's a personal grail. I've been after this book for a long time, dude. I mean, at least probably 10 years. Like I was like, man, I want to get it. I've just been passing it up and get deals on other stuff, but this is one of those books I was kind of thinking of cross grading, but I think since I'm probably going to keep it and not get rid of it, it doesn't really matter. Why spend the extra money?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's a clean grade too, 4.5, man.
Dude, and like it looks clean. I mean, off white to white pages, like. And like I said, these books, 2 years ago, you could have got these books, like, raw copies, cheap.
Yeah, and it's like, man, ever since the Disney deal and all that other stuff, and it's just like, oh god, it's just crazy.
Dick said he'll like to borrow the X-Men one. Hey, if you live down there, you can borrow and take a picture with it like it was yours.
So Big Will has arrived. What's up, Big Will? And D-Runk Comics. Y'all are in the chat. What's up, y'all? So man, yeah. So who that?
I want to see some of you. I want to see some more from you. I got a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, I know you did, but like I ain't got nothing like that. I mean, I got some stuff, but nothing like that. I mean, like mine's like a lot of like the stuff I got is like a lot of personal grails. Like some people like. All right, let me see. Like I could,
but that's still something. You know what I mean? Because I had to work. A lot of people like I didn't just get that and spend. Use my credit card. And max it out. Like I had to work. I had to work for that, and working for that.
This one, all right. This one is a personal grail of mine that I always loved this cover, and I did not care what grade it was if I just got the book, but I got it. Like eBay bucks. I'd like to thank eBay bucks.
Oh yeah. Matter of fact, and, I got like $6 I gotta use.
But eBay bucks, I'd like to thank them for allowing me to get this Neil Adams signed 3.0 Superman. The man, this one right here.
Dude, that might be a personal grail, but it's still like that book is getting hot where it's getting See, I just wanted it because I always remembered the cover and it was just like super clean to me, and I always liked it. Superman 233. Like, and how I remember the cover too. And then what I always remember about this cover is what Neil Adams told a story about that cover. If anybody, I don't know if his story has changed, but I remember hearing him talk about it. He hates that cover.
Really?
He hates that cover, and he hates when people bring him to sign him. And the reason being is because look at that cover good. He says the leg. I had to the leg. He said, I had to draw his leg like something was wrong.
Like way out here, the leg.
He got a 7-foot long leg. And he's
longer
like, I had to do it.
Longer than the torso. But it looks clean though, man. He pulled it off.
It's clean, but it's so fun. When he explained it, that's why I laugh. I laugh at it. It's hilarious.
So that was like one that I had to get because like for like the time or whatever, it was like part of my childhood really, because I remember just seeing that and I thought that was the coolest thing because it was just him breaking the kryptonite. Now this one is this one I bought raw and I had it graded, and I'm a Spider-Man fan. Low key, like I don't let a lot of people, but I'm a fan of the black suit. Really, that's what
like somebody said in the chat. Low grade is better than no grade. Man.
Yeah. And this one I had to get, which is sorry about the glare, which is the first appearance of the Black Cat and Spider-Man. And I bought it raw, and it came back at 7.5, so I wasn't too upset about that.
That's pretty good. And you probably did you even press it?
No, man.
Yeah, it's
still to be pressed.
Yeah, that's probably 8.5.
Yeah, because I got it from my buddy's shop, and he was like, "Did you press it?" I was like, because he even told me, he was like, "It's probably about an 8," and I was like, all right. And I sent it in, and I was like, and this was like, this is back whenever, like when I first started doing CGC, and I wasn't, no press, no nothing like that. I just sent it in, and whatever I got, which is And it's C Woodard, if he was in the chat, I'd be like, newsstand. So
he'll probably say it later.
So that was like one that I had to have because, like, I like the Black Cat, and some people prefer Catwoman in DC, but I like Black Cat.
I like Black Cat too. Like that's kind of like, I guess, because I'm 35, so like that's kind of like where I kind of, even though Spider-Man's old, but Batman's even older. So it's kind of like you kind of grow up with those things, and you had the Spider-Man TV show. You got into all those kind of characters and stuff. So
now I gotta bring something up because the last episode I was talking to Legend, and he was asking me about the X-Force book, and I told him I had something that nobody had, that I've never seen anybody have, and it is this cable card signed by Rob Liefeld. So if
that's the one you were talking about, like that he signed for free for you.
Yeah, he signed for free. So if anybody has one of these, I would like to know, because
you better stop telling people he signed that for free. He might send you an Instagram message or
he like
whatever.
PayPal.
He said, hey, bro, you need to cash at me.
He said he gonna send me a PayPal thing. He gonna be like, yo, you need to send the money back to this address right here. I'll be like, oh, hold up.
So hold up, Rob.
Yo, so this is about to spike, right? I'm just gonna talk real. This I already showed this last time, but I got something for the hunt tomorrow. Tomorrow, the hunt. I got something, but I'm not telling what it is. But there is speculations that they're talking about the Blue Beetle, whatever.
Oh yeah.
And if you haven't got one,
I heard about that.
Yeah. They said it's gonna be him and Booster Gold.
Yeah.
So get one of these now. Don't get the Hydro Man crap, because that's not even a real thing.
That's not real.
It's not real.
Shout out to the Lord of the Long Box, because they kind of talked about it. Other people on Instagram and stuff have been talking about it, but they've been saying, hey, if you want to sell it now, because when the movie comes out, people are gonna know it's not Hydro Man, it's not Multi-Man, it's the Elementals.
Yes, and it's like I looked at it and I was like, there's no way that's Hydro Man. I'm like, no.
Like, they didn't even show a person. I don't even think they have anybody cast playing him.
and this right here was like a real personal grail, because at the time I didn't have 300. So I'm a firm believer, if you can't get what you want, get the next best thing. And this is the next best thing to 301. And these are heating up too. Those
are definitely heating up, especially if it's high grade.
Yeah,
like 9/8. I think the 9/8 sold for like 1,000 or something
yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, crazy price. But it's like, dude. So it's a newsstand too. But like, and you see it's in a PGX slab, so I got a deal on it. So but it's just like, I don't know, man. It's like, if you like, to me, that's like one of those ones that you got to get.
Yeah, and I got a personal grill too. I got this from the Heroes Initiative. So I already got a decent deal on it from the Heroes Initiative, and I got it out from a friend of mine from Instagram, Exclusionary Comics. He does have a YouTube, but he's mainly on Instagram. But he has some sick books in his personal collection, because he donated this one. He had two of them to donate. One was a 7.5, but it was signed by Stan Lee and Neil Adams.
Oof.
And he asked me, which one you think I should donate? I said, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If it was me personally, I'm keeping the Stan Lee Neil Adams signature.
Yeah,
even though it's a 7.5, because Stan Lee had just passed. I said, dude, he's not signing anymore. Let's be honest. He's passed away.
Oh, you want to see something? Oh, I don't mean it, but you want to see something crazy? This is like the only book that I ever bought that I was just like, I had to have, because it was a personal grail, but it was like a crazy deal. Hold on a second.
But I'll talk while he's getting that, fellas. But it's you gotta get those personal grails and get those holy grails. If you need to sell something, sell them to get them. That's what I think. Sell them to get them.
All right, so now we were talking about Stanley, and we were talking about personal grails. Now this is a personal grail book for me, and I didn't know this existed. I was on eBay one night just looking, because I was wanting a book signed by Mark Bagley, because he's one of my favorite artists.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came across this book, and this is before Stan Lee passed away. It was like a week before Stan Lee passed away, and I came across this book, and usually they go for like, I think like with a Bagley signature is like $80.
Yeah,
it's because of Bagley signature on. And people are like, it's crazy, but it is true. With the Bagley signature, these go for $80. But I seen this one with Stan and Bagley, and I was like, what? Stan Lee signed that book? And I did a review on this book, and if you ever go to my channel, just look for the review because I do the whole, like when I do a review, I do the whole book and I read the voices. I do the character voices, different voices, and it is like if you've never seen one, it's crazy. But this is New Warriors, signed by Stan Lee right there. New Warriors, man. And it's
I
a 9.2.
I haven't never seen that either.
And it's signed by Stan Lee and Mark Bagley. Mark Bagley signed it right there. Stan Lee signed it right there. And I always liked the New Warriors in the 90s. That was one of my favorite teams. And they are also responsible for starting the Civil War. so that's what they're most famous for, I guess. But to me, they were always like a cool like 90s team that, you know, just consisted of some cool characters.
I'm just thinking about the Civil War movie. They could have threw an Easter egg in there with them.
Yeah,
they could. And like when they were talking about, look like getting an argument at the table. They could have said, "What do you think you are, New Warrior?" That would have been funny.
It would have been an inside joke. Everybody would know. But yeah, this is like the only one I've ever seen was signed by Stan Lee, and I know the guy that I bought it from is kicking himself now.
Oh yeah. I mean, but I ended up moving this book. I had a Submariner #1, 7.5 signed by Stan Lee. Got it maybe a few weeks before he passed.
Yeah.
I was going to Wizard World within a few weeks. I ended up moving that book for double what the guy sold it for. And I mean, I'm sorry if people like get mad at me. I did it, but you'll see eventually in this show why I did it. So it was well worth it. But I sold it to get a real holy. To me, it's a holy grail.
Yes.
But to me, it's the holiest of holy grails. But that's the reason why I sold it, to help with the rest of the cash. Because if I would not, I wouldn't have enough money to get this book. I mean, because I even had to move my AF-15, so that tells you right there.
Oh yeah, I remember you did have one. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I had an AF-15 at one point. I took plenty of pictures, so I got pictures to prove. But it was a 1.0, but it was it had tape all over it. It didn't look great. This is beyond. I didn't look great. If it was a 1.0 that looked great, I would have probably just kept it. But it didn't look great, so I said, let me move it and make me a new list. Try to get a better grade of it later on, maybe in a year, because I'm seeing prices kind of go down a little bit. And get maybe some other grails. I'll just save the money to get. At first I was just playing to save the money.
And see, that's what this is all about, man. It's like grails. Like you have to put in that work and love and dedication to get a grail, at least one grail that you want. And it's like,
and I tell people, like I said, I'm a Ninja Turtles fan. I have like 1 through 40. I have a third print, the #1 through 40. But this is a personal grail. This is Ninja Turtles #2, first print.
Oof!
Did not press it 8.5. I was like, let me just send it in. I didn't want to do anything to it, but this is a personal grail, and a lot of people who might not know, this is the first appearance to April O'Neil. So,
man, that's first print though. Them were like far and few in between.
You'll be surprised. I'm trying to think. I forgot when I got this book, because I sent this one in myself to get graded. But I did find one in the wild.
What?
A first print. I did find one in the wild first print. I don't have it here with me right here, but I do have it. And I saw it at the shop, and I said, hey, is that a Ninja Turtles #2 first print? He says, I think so. I said, well, can you take it down? Can I look at it? So I open it up. I said, sure enough, it's a first print. I said, then I looked at it, because I looked at the price and was like, hey, could you take $10 less? He said, yeah, sold. I said, all right. And I even that would have been a good one for the hunt, my hustle. Cause I hustle because I'm like, you look online, dude, that's over $100 book.
Man, for real.
For a first print. And I was like, I got it for like $40. No, it might have been cheaper than that. I think I got it for like $30.
See, my bro that owns that comic shop, he was telling me today, he was like, dude, I'm looking for the Crow. And I was like, the Crow? I was like, don't you have one? And he was like, I don't. His collection's so crazy. He's like, I don't know, but he's like, I'm looking for one. I'm like looking for one in your shop.
And that's, see me, that's one book or one collection or whatever you want to call it. I always buy is Ninja Turtles Volume 1, like, but it's only like 1 through 5. If I see 1 through 5 first prints, I'm getting them, and like I feel like kind of like Splash Page Comics. I'm like I hoard those because and it hurt my heart to sell them, but I was so happy I sold that first like Raphael #1 first Casey Jones to C. Woodard because that was actually my third copy. And I was like, I can let one of them go. I'm going to Wizard World this weekend. I can let one of them go. Yeah, but I so far I want to say I got like 2. Only one I don't have a second copy is #5.
Now, see, this
so if anybody has a #5, let me know.
Now this one is like a little personal. It's another personal grail of mine, and it's ridiculous. I mean, these go for a little bit. Like I didn't even know they went for that much. And like this is another book. See, like when I go hunting and like I put stuff on the hunt, there's stuff that I put on the hunt, but then there's stuff I don't, and I just put it in my PC and I don't even show people. And sometimes it might show up onto slab or not to slab, but most of the time I got like stuff just hoarded away, like you say. And I got like this one right here, the first Winter Soldier, and it's a personal one for me because like as you know, I'm a Captain America.
I know you're a Captain America man.
Yeah. And at one point in time, Bucky, aka Winter Soldier, takes over. So, I needed to have the first, appearance of that. And I got the other one too, the one that was spiking where it shows who's going to be Captain America and it's got that white silhouette thing or whatever.
Yeah,
I got that. And it's like, but
I had both copies of that book, and it's like you said, I have no idea where they're at right now. Because I end up finding, everybody knows about the top 10, and I found one of the books from that because I found the first when Falcon took over as Cap. I said, when I saw it on there, top 10, I said, man, I have that book, and I'm like looking, and then I'm looking for something else, and I found it. I was like, oh man, look.
See, I'm looking for there's issue 7 of his, but it's not. It's a variant cover, and it's done by Alex Ross, and it's Cap punching Hitler, and I got one of those.
Oh yeah, I seen one.
I've got a different one, but it's not the Alex Ross version, and the Alex Ross version is freaking crazy. And then there's Captain America 700 done by Jim Lee. That book is crazy high, and it's like that's another like personal grail for me to get because the 700 done by Jim Lee, like the sketch variant, I think is like $1,000. And then like the color variant's like $700.
That's crazy how like and he's like, and people, and I know people probably do the same. I do the same thing because I see a book. I say, man, I like that cover, man, I like that character, and I'm like, should I spend $100 to get the book? Cause like, you're like, oh, it's 100. Should I spend $100 to get it? And you're like, I'm gonna wait. The price might drop. And you're like, then you wait. He's like, man, it's going up to that's 100. That's 500.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, I should have got it when it was 100.
That's like what was it? The Batwing when it came out. Like I passed up on it because I was in my local LCS and I was like, I seen it and I was like, I'll come back and get it later or whatever. I'll get it some other time. And then it was like next thing I know, like I went home and like later that night, everybody was talking about the Batwing. And I was like, what the hell are they talking about? The Batwing? And so then like I go to my LCS the next day to go pick up a copy. All of them are gone. They were like, they came in that night and cleaned us out, man. I was like, what?
My story for that is different. I heard about it Wednesday. It got all hot. I'm working, so I can't go to the LCS. So I couldn't go Wednesday. Couldn't go Thursday. I go to two LCSs. One sold out on Wednesday because it was the black label, but it wasn't because of all the hype. It just was black label, and they didn't order that many. Go to another one. They had 5 of them just chilling there Friday. And then this is when they all starting to they announced the top 10, and it was like, oh, it's going for $40 and $50, and I was like, so I grabbed 3 of them. I said I'm not gonna be greedy. I could have grabbed all 5. I'm not gonna be greedy. I'll grab 3. I grabbed 3, and the guy sold me the 3, and I was like, that's why I tell people you got to use the books to get books you want. So I sold 2 of them, one for $100 and one for $50, and I was like, I should have bought the other 2. I could have bought me an ASM 300. I was just like, I'm thinking of stuff I could have. I was like, man. I still got. I still got one. I still got my one comic. I always keep one. You know, which is kind of weird. I guess people.
I don't mean to interrupt. Comic Head 84 has asked, has anyone done any business with Planet Awesome Collectibles? Yes, I have done business.
I have too.
And they are on point. It might take them a minute. That let me show you right now. I'll show you the book back there. You can kind of see it. I did an unboxing of it, but hold on.
Yeah, I can speak on them too. They take a little while, but that's because they deal with a lot of business. But they're really good. They always get stuff signed by Eastman. I didn't know they were doing Leard, but I know they do Eastman a lot.
This book right here, I had sent to Planet Awesome Collectibles, Jim Lee's first work on the X-Men, 9.2. I bought this raw. They had it pressed, signed by him in gold, and it took them, it's like 6 months or whatever, but that's because, like, you're getting it pressed and cleaned, and the signature, and they got to mail it off, and then they got to get it back, and they mail it to you. But it might seem like they took your book, but they didn't. They get it back to you.
They take a little while. That's why it's always recommended to find a reputable presser. Maybe you can deal with beforehand, because that's what takes so long is the pressing with them. I've done it with them before. I've done it non-pressing and pressing. It's way quicker when you don't have to press. Yeah, at least three months.
And as y'all can see, it's got Havoc on the cover, so I'm a Havoc fan.
Yeah, look at that's why you need that book I showed, that first Havoc in costume.
I got it. I showed it on the hunt last week. I put it on the hunt.
See, I got so much videos. I'm like on that watch later, and I'm like,
but it's not a 9.0 like yours, but I got it though.
Hey, you'd be surprised. What do you think the price of a 9.0 is?
Oh man, is it up there? Is it because like
it's not, to me. It's not up there. It's like, you save up for like maybe a month and you can get it, but it's a $300 book.
Oh, okay. That's what I about paid for that ASC.
And I say $300, but I paid less on the auction. I think I paid like $280.
Yeah, and somebody was telling me, because I'm looking for a New Mutants '98, and somebody told me that on the auction, I think you were on it. I think you were the one that told me that they sold one for like $30 or something like that. Or somebody told me there was
it was probably either me or C. Woodard. I know C. Woodard found one for like $1.
Oh my God. I can't ever find. I told my buddy that has that shop, I was like, if you ever come across one, he's like, I already did. I was like, well, let me it's gone. I'm like, dude. Like, and that's why, like, I can only go to his shop like twice a month. Because if I told him, I was like, if I go there more than that,
he'd be in a poorhouse.
Yeah.
That's like the shop I was telling you about earlier before the show. Like, I go there and like this search through it, but I only could stay so long because be searching forever. But search through the back issues, I'll grab a stack of like 30 books or 40 books. He'll look at it and say, "Oh, that's a nice book. That's an expensive book. That's expensive." Like he's saying that, but then he goes, "Here, about $150," and I'm like, "Okay." But see, I'm a repeat customer, good customer. I'll trade and sell with him, so that's what he does.
That's how my bro does me, man. It's like, that book. We can't divulge no secrets, but that book I showed you for the hunt.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah.
What I want to tell people, he's bringing some heat to the hunt.
Tune in to the hunt tomorrow, because I got something for everybody on that.
He's bringing some heat to the hunt. Put it like this: I'm happy I'm not on that episode of the hunt. Here's a personal grill that I think Legend might have shown it before.
Oh, true. Yeah.
But I kind of got, when I started, Rob Guillory's from Louisiana. So I started reading the trades of this, and I said, man, I got to find number one. Man, and this is before it got, like, this is when it was hot. I don't even know if it got before it got hot or when it got hot, but it was expensive. Low print run. I was like, I can't find this number one nowhere. And I finally got one. But like, I couldn't find a number one anywhere, and it took me forever to get one. That's why I was a person, but I love the story of Chew. Chew's amazing. If anybody reads get the trades or get the Omnivore editions, you really enjoy the story. It's a cool, funny story. I think it could actually be up on that Netflix show.
And that's a modern grail to me right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of those books. But it's hard to find. So like you might have to pay a pretty penny for it. And I'll say a pretty penny, maybe like $200-$300 if it's graded. Yeah. At a 9.8, but it's since they're not doing anything with it. But when you read the story, it's prime for like a Netflix show. So it's like if you really like this to get it now before they figure that out and do something, then all of a sudden it'd be like a $300 book to a $1,000 book.
Man, I'm telling you. I was like,
I got a holy grail for some people since we got 20 people watching.
All right. Oh, no, say so because I can't even see it.
All right, this is a Tales of Suspense 39. You got Iron Man's first appearance, signed by Stan Lee, in that when he was still signing decent. So, because this was signed in 2011. 2011. And this is a book, like this is, you know, I was lucky, blessed, or whatever you want to, however you want to say it, but this is a book, and now people might hate me for saying it. This is a book I'm selling to fund my AR-15, but I'm still going to have enough money to get this book again. Not signed, but I'm able to get this book again. That tells you the price of this book.
Man. Ooh. Dude, and a 5.0 signed by Stan. That's crazy. That is a great, because we got a lot of Iron Man fans out there, man. Especially since
Robert Downey Jr.
been killing it. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude! Like I wasn't really an Iron Man fan. It was like like it's a rich guy in a suit. Come on, it's like he's Batman without the damage.
No,
but I mean, he made that character cool. Like he really did.
He did. Because before that, Iron Man was just like, like to me, before Robert Downey Jr. stepped in them shoes and took that role in that movie. And when they cast him, I was like, they got the right guy, because I knew that dude was an alcoholic and he's been on drugs, so he knew the role just by doing it. But before that, and I don't care what people say, they might think I'm crazy, Iron Man was like a C character, maybe a B at the most. And it was like he wasn't A-list. He wasn't A-list. He was never A-list back in the day. He had his own cartoon back in the day, but he was never like one of them ones where like people were just like, oh yeah, he's the greatest. This and that. Cap had more pull than him back then. And and it was just like, but now since Robert Downey Jr. and they can credit Robert Downey Jr. for boosting up that book and boosting up the sales on that book and boosting
up the whole Marvel.
Yeah,
all of Marvel, man. It's and I'm kind of torn to like this new movie, because I'm hoping this is what I'm hoping for. And I hate to go like sideways with this whole my Grail, but I hope they don't kill him off, and I hope they just kind of like injure him.
Yeah.
And
when he got stabbed in Infinity War, I was like, no. I was just like,
dude, I don't know if when you were in the theater. This is how when we sitting there, everybody's like, yeah, like you getting into it, like. Beat that mother, beat him up. And then like all of a sudden, then when he's like, oh crap, he's like, ooh, and when he got stabbed, everybody like you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah, it was that silent. It was. And then all right. And then at the end of the movie, whenever it was all over, wasn't everybody quiet when they left, except for people that read the book and knew that they were supposed to lose?
I guess I got a funny story. I don't think you might have not have heard the story. Some of the older people I've talked to before heard the story. So we went to see the movie, me, my wife, and my daughter. So my daughter was like kind of scared at first because Hulk was getting beat up. She was like, oh, she's like Hulk getting beat up. And then she's getting into it. She sees Black Panther. She's like, yeah, she's getting into it, watching it. Then all of a sudden at the end, everybody starts disintegrating. And in the theater I'm in, you hear people yell, no, not Black Panther. We just got him. And then like people are starting to cry. And then when he's disappeared and it started going to other people and like everybody disappeared, and they go back to I think Wakanda, and like my daughter goes like this. And I had a guy next to me, big old guy, and he looks at her and he goes, "She's a savage." I was like, I don't know how. It's like, all right, everybody's quiet. She's clapping in the theater, and so we have people looking at us like, "Who's clapping?"
That's crazy, yo.
So that's why I love her. That's my movie buddy. Ever since then, I was like, I'm taking this to every movie.
And it's cool. See, that's like I take my and that's another thing. Like I take my kids with me, like, and we go see movies, and like we went to see we went to see Aquaman, and like my oldest son, he was mad because we didn't go see Into the Spider-Verse. He wanted to go see that. But I wanted to see Aquaman, so I was like, Dad's paying, so we're gonna go see Aquaman. And what was funny was like I'm in the theater, right? I'm sitting on one side, my littlest son is sitting next to me, and my middle son's sitting next to my oldest son, and like there's like mumbling back and forth through the movie, and I'm just like ignoring them because I'm trying to watch the movie. And then my middle son gets up, the one that likes Moon Knight, he gets up and he comes and sits by me. And I was like, why'd you move? He was like, cuz Hunter's heckling me about the movie and he won't shut the heck up. And I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? And so then like I looked down there at him, I was like, what is your problem? He is like, I could be watching Spider-Verse. I'm gonna sneak out and go watch Spider-Verse. I'm like, you
wait, you can't tell me that.
I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, I'm the dad. Sit down. Eat popcorn. Be quiet.
It's like you can't tell me that. It's like this one. Like when my daughter does, I'm like, you can't. No, let me give you a hint. It's like if you want to get around that, you like, Dad, I gotta go to the restroom.
Yeah. If he'd have done that, I wouldn't even know. Because I'm
like, man. Where's your brother? I didn't see that. Like, did he get lost in the bathroom? You go in Spider-Verse, he in there like, yeah.
Oh man! So I'm gonna show this other book I got, and this was my birthday present. And
I got a couple birthday presents, and I'm gonna go to the books that I end up getting for Wizard World. You're getting exclusive because I haven't shown anybody these books. Anybody.
Y'all hear that? This is exclusive. So hold on one second. I'm gonna show my book, and then we're gonna get to the exclusives. When WhoDat say he got exclusives, it's some bangers.
Here's another personal grail for my friends on there. I wanted to show this while he's grabbing that. So Ninja Turtles #4. I was showing everybody another personal grail while you went to grid that.
Oh, that's #1, isn't it?
No, this is #4.
Number 4? Oh.
Yeah, #4. Like,
oh wait, no, #1's when they're on the rooftop.
Yeah, this is #4, and then wrap around with the characters. I was showing them that. I said for my turtle fans, it's so funny. If you look at this cover of the turtles, you see what kind of looks funny.
They all like, I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about.
And I'm like, really? I said, I can't believe they got away with that.
I see what you're talking about. Good thing I got issues in Hulk Nuts is not in the chat. But yeah, this one I got for my birthday, and the story behind this, and I tell the story in the video whenever I open the box. But the story behind this is this: I was looking for Secret Wars. It was Marvel Superheroes. I was looking for Marvel Superheroes. What was it, 12 or something like that? It was like 12.
The one with Dr. Doom.
Yeah, I was looking for that one, and I was like looking for that, and like the person that was selling this misspelled secret, so it popped up under Marvel Superheroes because this is like because it says Marvel Superheroes.
Yeah.
And he misspelled secret, so it didn't go to Secret Wars. It just went to Marvel Superheroes. And so
I guess he had the wrong price.
Yeah, no, he had, it was in there for sale, and like it was like a buy it now, but they had also auction or whatever. It was also an auction, and so like the auction price was like nobody was bidding on it because
they listed wrong.
Yeah, he listed it wrong. And this is a triple signed book. It's signed by John Beatty, Mike Zeck, and Jim Shooter.
Mm.
And so I seen the price and I was like, bid, bid. And I was sitting there like watching it, like make sure nobody buys it or whatever. And so like finally I get the bid and stuff. I message the guy and I'm like, yo, I'm ready to get my book, Because when I win something on the auction, I message right away. And I'm like, oh, I'm ready to get my book. Thank you for doing your auction or whatever. I don't care what that's the price you're selling it for, that I got it. Give it to me. So this was and this is like my first stepping stone to getting that ASM 300. Like this is like, because I'm a fan of the black suit, man. Mm-hmm. And I'm also like, and if you don't know, I'm also a fan of the black suit on Captain America when he's the captain. I love that suit. Even like U.S. Agent when he wears it, I liked it on him too.
And they're talking about the U.S. Agent might make an appearance in the new movie.
Oh man,
that's what that's a rumor I heard. I use that movie title a little bit in my name sometimes, but that's what a rumor I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, and I'm putting that out there. I don't know if it's true or not, but it's something I heard, and like I actually could find out a lot more information from people I know who work in the movie industry, but I stopped kind of doing that because it was like people were hating. So I was like, I'm gonna stop. I was like, but if anybody always wanted to know that I talked to like off of here, I'll be like, yo, let me find out and see if I can find out. Because I knew about, matter of fact, I actually kind of knew who was dying in, was it in Infinity War. And the reason being, because a friend of mine was like working, and he was like, yeah, we got some set photos. You want to see them? And I was like, yeah. I was like, for the Endgame. And I was like, okay. I was like, where's Spider-Man? All right. I was like, where are all these people? I was like, all right, I guess I knew who dies. Because there was like no Spider-Man, no Black Panther. It was a whole bunch of people. And then it was like, oh, I wasn't surprised.
Yeah, but the main reason I bought this is because if it's an 8.0, right? And it was just like, okay, it's an 8.0, it's an 8. And so, it's triple side, but the white pages. I was like, I'd never seen that before. I was like, oh, well, white pages, I'll take it.
Dude, that's like, you got literally the main people who dealt with that book. So,
yeah.
That's I'm not gonna lie, I never found something misspelled or deal yet on eBay.
That's what tripped me out. I was like, when I seen that, I was like, oh, this dude didn't even spell secret right. And I was like, maybe I'm tripping. So I actually literally went to Secret Wars 8 on eBay and I looked to see if I could find that book, and it was nowhere on that section. I was like, nowhere on here. I can't even find it. So that's why I went back to the Marvel superheroes. And I was like, the only time I ever heard stories like this is like We Love Comics. And I was like, We Love Comics talks about doing that. And I was like, man, that's the first time that ever happened to me. And I was like, so to me, that was like a destined thing for me to have this book.
Now, I did find a deal one time on eBay with a CGC book, and I think it was double signed. I ended up getting it for a penny. No, not a penny. 99 cents. I got it for 99 cents.
Man.
And I just had to pay for the shipping. So I was nervous. I said, man, this dude ain't going to ship this book. I got this book for less than the shipping cost. I said, when you add the shipping cost in my 99 cents, it'll equal $13.65. And literally, I think the shipping by was like $5. So I was like, I got the book for under $10. I know that for a fact. And I was like, he ain't going to ship me this book. And I ended up getting it. I was surprised.
What?
That was the best deal I ever got. And that's a little hint for people. Like, if you're looking look for slabs or CGC or PGX, and then try to look for the lowest price or something. You'll find them real cheap. You'd be surprised that you'll find some slabs sell for like, $20, $30. And you're like, hold up, I know it's not a key, but this thing should be worth more than $30.
It costs $20 to slab a book, so it's like,
That's always say, if you can find a slab for like $30, including shipping, you winning. You're already winning.
Yeah. And see, like right now, I'm working on I'm gonna show you like it's a little speculation because like it was like a kind of a thing last year, and this is like a little speculation stuff that I picked up. And this actually came from the UK. I ordered it, and this is and I'm actually in the process of buying the first appearance. But I have like I've been scouting them out, looking at them, but like I'm trying to get them before the spike, the price spikes up because they keep talking speculation about it. But this came from the UK. I got this. It's Captain Britain #1. You can see you can see the 50 pence right there, and it's they keep talking about it. So I was like, let me get this, and I got this magazine side, and you can tell because it's magazine side. Yeah, and it's
they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do something with because the reason why, and a lot of people are like, oh, there might be a movie, but you can't forget Disney is doing their streaming service, and they're trying to load that sucker up. Mm-hmm. They're trying to load because they're already in talks with all these Loki TV show, which is going to be Kid Loki, which a lot of people are not realizing that they have a Kid Loki first appearance book out there, and it's still cheap right now. But they're doing the Kid Loki. They're doing the Scarlet Witch and Vision. They're doing Bucky and Falcon.
Yeah.
And Captain Britain would fall straight into that streaming perfectly. You know what I mean?
Well, they were talking about like I think it was like on Lords of the Long Box. They were talking about the Sentry and Moon Knight were going to be like two of the basically like Disney slapping DC in the face talking about this is our Superman and our Batman. We're gonna put them on our streaming service, and like so that's another reason why like I love my son because he's ahead of the curve like his old man. Because he was like, I'm into Moon Knight, so I bought all kinds of Moon Knight for him. And like I was into Captain Marvel, so I was ahead on that deal, and I was like, cool, that was kind of cool.
You know what's a good book for him? Since it's hard to get that first appearance, the second appearance is not that expensive.
I've been looking at it.
The second appearance.
What do you think I was doing before we got on here?
Because the second appearance is a great start, I think, for that book, because the first appearance is almost out of range.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it almost is.
Unless you get a mid-grade.
That is true.
But so, here's one of the two books. I'm gonna save the other book for last. I haven't showed this to anybody. I'm in a whole bunch of chats. I talked to a lot of people privately. This is one of my books that I got from Wizard World that I sold my AF-15, and this wasn't planned, but it worked out. That's why I always tell people you gotta be able to move things to get really awesome things, I think, or grails or holy grails. AF-15 is a holy grail, but it was a bad beater copy. And I traded a couple books as well. So that being said, Journey into Mystery 83 at a 3.5 off white to white pages. So yeah, I got it. I think I got it for a great price total. When I show the other book, you'll be like, yeah.
that right there is JD's. That JD loves Thor. That JD loves Thor. So. And
the reason why people are like, why you didn't keep the AF-15? Because I wanted a better, like I said, I want a better grade, better looking copy. And I have these the tiers of all the books I really want. I want the first Thor. I want the first Fantastic Four. I want the first Hulk. I want AF-15, but in a better grade. And, and I want X-Men 1, which I already have X-Men 1. And it's another book that I want that I'm going to end up showing. But this was one of the books. So I was like, I did a little package deal. So this was like, what y'all call it? On
the hustle of the week?
Yeah, this is my hustle probably of the year. Because like I said, I did... when you see the other book, you'd be like, yeah, that was the hustle of the year. But, this book is like a $5,000 book.
God.
and and I want to say I sold the AF-15 for like $10,000. So, so
excuse my language, but but man,
I'll say sick like
sick.
But this other book, and this is probably I would say that because a lot of my books are like raw copies, but I got some more graded stuff, but that I showed on my channel. But this is a book I've been talking about probably since I realized it was a comic first as a kid, and people probably can know what I'm leaning into. But a lot of people I talk to all the time on off airs or Facebook, they're gonna know what I'm talking about because this is a personal grail, but this is a holy grail in my opinion. This is the holiest of holy grails. I think this would be considered a modern. I think this is a modern grail, but it's a modern holy grail. So there you go, Ninja Turtles #1, and guess what? First print.
Oof.
First print. 9.0 white pages. Oof. Yeah, it's a 9.0 white pages. 9.0 white pages. Only 3,000 of these books were ever made. And I forgot the census of how many are graded, but I want to say it's like 300 to 400. So it's not many. If they're out there, I don't know how many are out there, but this is a first print. And anybody will tell you, it's hard to find these. It's hard to find.
That's what I've heard, man. And that's a 9.0. Oof.
And it was so funny. At this convention, every year I go, I always ask the guys, which I'll shout them out as Greg Reese, the Reese brothers. I always ask them, y'all got Ninja Turtle #1? They had one year a few years ago, but it was like it was a lower grade and they wanted too much. And this year it was funny. I'm not really looking to buy anything. I sold the book. I'm saying I'm going to save it, get another AF-15. I'm not looking to buy nothing. I'm just looking around. They had this one. and a 9.6 signed, and another dealer had an 8.0.
Man, see, that's that destined stuff. Like, oh, you're destined to get this book, even though you're not looking for it.
I was not looking for it, so that's why I was like, I thought about it the whole week, and I said, man, y'all talking about, I gotta work on this hustle deal. I gotta get this deal. I gotta get this deal. I said, I'm gonna make it happen. So I brought 2 books to trade. I actually had a bag full of books. I was like, I'm getting this book. And I was like, I'm gonna make this deal happen, but I'm gonna try with these books I really don't want. I want them, but it's like I can let these go and won't be hurt. And it's like, all right, we're gonna make it happen. So I ended up, and he talked, and he was like, all right, let's take a picture. And I was like, oh, deal. That's what I'm talking about. But I'll show the book, one of them, because I had an extra copy. Because that's why I always tell people, you gotta use, if you have extra copies, or if book is hot, use it to get get the book like I just showed. But this is one of the books I traded.
Oh yeah,
Fantastic Four 48.
48.
It was a 7.0, same grade, white pages, but it was a CBCS label. And everybody knows the truth. CBCS does sell for a little bit less than CGC, depending on the book. So I was like, I'll get rid of the CBCS. So I used it to my advantage to get that book, because, like I said, this book, people can look it up. I mean, 8.0 sells for like $6,000.
That's crazy.
And a 9.0, people are selling on eBay for over, what I sold my AF-15 for. So that's why I say this is my hustle for the year.
Yeah, I'll put that up there.
Hustle for the year. If y'all do hustle for the year awards, this is my hustle for the year.
We should do that. We were like, we're gonna do the hustle of the year awards.
But that was my hustle slash hunt with it. But that's you can see how my reaction is. That's like real personal, real holy, and that's something that I can pass on to my daughter, and it's that type of meaning for me.
Yeah, that's something that you really wanted and stuff. It's just like, and it's weird because like I said, it's like you weren't looking for it, but it found you.
I was not looking for it. I told some of the people I talked to, I said, I'm going to this convention. I said, I'm not really feeling it. He said, and I'm like, I have some money to spend, but I'm not trying, because I was like, I'm going to focus on this list that I showed, my top 7. So I'm going to focus on this list, and I'm not going to look to buy anything. I was like, I don't think they're going to have what I want. And lo and behold, they had it, and I'm just like, I saw it Friday, and I was like, nobody's going to buy it, so let me just think about it. So I looked at it every week, every day till Sunday. And I was like, man, I'm going to try to make this happen. I'm just happy I didn't have to trade anything else, but I traded a Fantastic Four 48 and Tomb of Dracula 10. Tomb of Dracula 10, 9.2 copy I had. So I traded those 2. Kind of hurt, but I'm so happy right now. So. And
that's what this show is about, man. Like that's your grails right there. That's your personal holy grails, and that's what's it's cool to get those things. Like when you get them, like you feel like you've accomplished something, and like you're at like I call it zen. You're zenned out. Like you're like, I'm there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm like at that point. It's like, all right, I got my number 1 holy grail. What else should I get? I'm kind of like, I don't know what to get now. So I set my goal high for an AF-15, like a better looking copy, maybe 2.0 or even higher. But I was like, I'll set it high. So
nah, see, that's what, like I said, like my goal, like I said, I'm bringing some heat to the hunt. Cause like I'm in my list that I put up on Instagram, and it's like you already see I checked off that Spider-Man 33. I'm working on that. I'm checking it off, and it's like the one book that I'm trying to get is the X-Men 1. That's my hindsight goal. Like I said, Lord willing, and the wife make it able. So I'm trying to make that happen for me.
It is gonna happen. You just you gotta be focused, and you just gotta believe it's gonna happen. Because I didn't think this was gonna happen, not at all. And he asked me, like I said, I told people right before I went to the convention, I was like, I'm just gonna walk around.
And see, that's like exclusive here. Y'all seen them? Or you want to show them one more time if they missed it?
Yeah, I'll show them one more time. We got Journey into Mystery 83 at a 3.5 off white pages. First appearance of Thor. And it's so funny. CBCS puts on there, Thor is misspelled Thor with 2 R's on the last panel of the story. I've seen this before on the CBS label, and I was like, that's just funny. That's just funny.
I like them because they put like extra stuff on there.
They put extra stuff that you didn't even know about. I was like, I didn't. And then if you read it, you're not gonna catch that. You're not gonna catch. You're just gonna be reading. That's all right. Thor. He says Thor, and you're like, wait, is that an extra R? You're like, no, but I mean, I got that one. That's like, my top tier, Marvels that I'm trying to collect, those top tier Marvels. And this is my personal holy grail of this Ninja Turtles that I've grown up with. I had Ninja Turtles, everything in my house. I had the curtain, I had the bed sheets, I had everything. I even had, which I'll show because this is like grails, but your grails can also be toys. I went back and purchased these.
Yeah. Oh,
before I got this.
Still in the package.
Because I remember having these, and I was like, I gotta get these again. so it was like, I've collected Ninja Turtles I've been into Ninja Turtles my whole life. So I was like, I gotta get this book, and before it gets out of reach, and it's doggone near out of reach at a first print.
And I know, like, with second, third prints, they still go high too, don't they?
Second print definitely goes high for a second print, if you know what I mean. Like who would think a 9.8 of a second print would sell for? I gotta look at GPA again, but I want to say it was like $2,000. Or about it might be at least, let's say $1,000, but that's still high for a second print.
That is true.
I mean, third print, a few $100s for a high grade. That's why I was so happy to find my third print. I wasn't even expecting. I was like, I got a third print I found for $20. I was like, I'm happy. I'm good. And but he said like that Comic Karma works. I would use, like, a lot of people say that works, and it just fell in me. Like, I was like, all right, I guess my year's done for collecting. Because it was like I knocked 2 books out of the top 7. I was like, I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I'm working. Like I said, I'm working on my list, but I can't divulge out what I've knocked off because some of it's coming to the hunt. And so, like I said, you see, and that wasn't even on my list. That was just like I walked in my buddy's shop and I showed it to you.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens. And like I tell people, I was doing that video, I was like, you gotta be able or willing to move books when that stuff happens. I know you're a Captain America guy. What if, like, you had the opportunity to sell, let's say, damn near, sorry for my language, but you're like half of your collection for Captain America 3, like the first Stan Lee, and it's like a golden age,
man. It'd be bare. It'd be all bare.
It'd be all bad. You see, like, welcome to the hunt. All you see is Cap 3 back there.
Like TV missing 2.
He's like, man, what happened to everything, man? Nothing. I got a Cap 3. What are you talking about? What happened?
You don't see that Cap 3 over
there? And like when I tell people that stuff, and they be like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, yeah, like.
Right. And see, JD, he's a avid believer of trading to get what you want, and I've been listening to JD. He said when we go to C2E2, he said I'm gonna get to see it in full action. So I'm like, we're gonna go hunt, and I was like, I'm gonna see him do this and like do his trading and stuff. So I'm gonna check this out. And he said he's gonna help me get me a Golden Age Captain America. I don't know what kind, but he said he's got it in the works. So I'm like, we're gonna see this, and
it works, man. That trading works, though. He's right. If you bring the right books to the table that you're willing to trade, it works. It works. Trust me.
I'll give a quick shout out to Rag718 and Probe186. What up, bros? Like, man, yeah. So if y'all, JD is a good dude. If y'all have missed it, Who that? Can you recap all your grails that you just showed? Even the exclusives.
All right, we'll go down the line. I'll show the exclusives last. But these are all my grails. Some of them might be moved for other books, but like some of these books I will. Oh, and I forgot to show. Oh, this is a good grail. I haven't even shown, so I'll show this one first. This is one of my first high grade Fantastic Four books that what I got for cheap. Like, when did I get this for? I got it signed in 16, but I think I got this book in 15. And signed by Stan right there. Like, you can, perfect signature.
Man, Fantastic Four, number 4.
Yep. What is it? First Silver Age Submariner. Like, he debuted before Aquaman. I'll say it to everybody. Some people like them Aquaman. He was first. This is the originator.
Yeah.
But that was a personal grail. I have 2 Stan Lee books, signed books, but that one I'm probably going to keep. This one I'm probably going to downgrade to an unsigned. But this is Tales of Suspense 39, another grail. But like I said, I'm going to probably downgrade it. You know, you don't always have to have. To me, that's a high grade. You know, in the old book, but it's as long as you got the book, in my opinion. And this is, I know, one of your favorites. It's my favorite too. The X-Men 1.
Yeah, I got to get that. That's on my list.
Every time I look at this book or the giant size, I always hear that.
See, everybody does it. And everybody knows that dang song, and it's like I can hum that song all day long. If I hear it one time, it's like, yeah.
Every time I see those books, it's in my head. It just pops in my head. So I was just like, hey, if it's there, it's there. And this is some people's holy grail.
Oh yeah.
Some people's grail, but you know, it's a book that's getting pricey, but you can find them raw. So if people are looking for them, I would say look for a raw copy.
See, I bought like mine back there. It's just the 2.0, and like what I paid for it is like double that now. Even from like what I paid for it, like I looked it up on Go Collect, and I was like, how much is the 2.0? And it was like, it's double what I paid. So I was like, all right.
Yeah,
so,
I see. See, I don't use Go Collect as much. I need to, but there's so many apps out there. They got Go Collect, and they got Comics MV. They got GPA, which I use. And the reason why I use GPA, a lot of dealers use it when I go to cons. So that's why I fell into GPA. But
at one point in time, I had both of them. I had GPA and Go Collect, and I just dropped GPA because I was like, oh well,
paying for it. So it's like, but like you said, that book has doubled. Like this one has too, I think, I've known it going up at least almost double. But that's crazy how like you said the book, like that's why I say you got to get it raw. I'm just to tell people you got to get it raw.
Yep.
Because even if it comes back, like you said, a 2.0, 2.5, I bet you it comes is more than what you paid for it.
See, that's like when I bought that Avenging Spider-Man 9 back there. I was sitting in the drive-thru at McDonald's with my son, and it popped up on eBay for $100 raw, and I was like, buy. I couldn't hit it fast enough. I was like, buy. And my son was like, Dad, the food's here. I was like, buy.
You're like what that TV show with the guys like buy, sell, buy.
and so when I bought it, right, my wife was like, why'd you spend $100 on that book? And this, and I was like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna send it off and get it graded, and it'll do something. And I sent it off. I was expecting it for a 9.8, but it came back 9.8. And I told her, I showed her all the Go Collect. I was like, look how much this book is worth now. And she looked at it, and she was like, and this is back when it was like up to like $8 or $7 or something like that, $800 or $700. And she was like, can we sell it? And I was like, no.
I'm proving to you that I didn't do bad.
Yeah, I was like, see, I made money. And she was like,
I didn't do bad.
She's like, can we sell it? I was like,
saying when I'm dead, yeah.
So in her mind, she knows that right there is one of the books that she would take, like right off the back if something was like to go down. She's like, that one right there, the one with the chick with the spider on the back.
But this is a hint for people for the slabs or something like that, or even you can put it on the raw books. But a lot of people's maybe spouse don't know 100% of everything. Just to be on a safe side, you get you some blue tape and you can write like maybe the price on it. So if something happens, let's just be honest. Everybody has to pass away, but if something happens, at least they know uh, not to sell these books for $1 a piece.
Oh yeah, yeah, for real. Yes. All right, Soldier, I'm gonna catch you later, man. And I guess we're about to shut it down. We've been in here for an hour and oh, wait, you still want to recap? We still want to
I'm just going down the list. Like I was just grabbing them. That was the Ninja Turtles #2 first print.
All right.
First April O'Neil, which I got. Like I said, I got raw copies of it. What haven't I shown? I got the Hulk 181. Ooh, I got one I haven't shown. But these are some of the books that I'm probably gonna move on to get that AF-15 or Amazing Spider-Man 1. This is the Hulk 181.
That's Jeffrey's book right there.
And if Jeffrey's looking for this book, keep looking and you're gonna get it. And he's probably gonna be like, why are you saying? Well, the reason why I'm saying this, I've owned 4 other copies of not this same book, but 4 other copies of Hulk 181. And it can happen and it will happen. You just got to be patient, focus, and be willing to do some barter. Get that book you want. It'll work. Trust me. Like I didn't want to get 4 other copies, but I took those 4 other copies and I got some of these other books that I had.
Oh, Big Will has returned.
Welcome, Big Will. This is one I haven't shown.
And that is a grail for people, yes.
Yes. And this is a crazy book. I've actually owned a couple copies of this too. And I sold a copy way too early. I had an 8.0 and I sold it for $800 like 2 years ago.
Oh man.
And I was like, man, give me the 800. It was actually I did it because it was an artist in one of the in Artist Alley. He was looking for it, and he sent his friend to look for the book, and he's like, he couldn't find one, but I gave my copy to one of my friends who had a table at the time, and I put it up there and said, you can have some stuff to show off, and if somebody says they're interested, tell them this price. I told him tell them above GPA $1,000 because that was the going rate before. So the guy was like, "Oh man, how much? You think he'll take cash?" And so he calls me up. Hey man, this guy wants. I come to find out it was a deal. I said, "Man, well, if you give me 800 cash, you can have it." And he's like, "Done." And he sent it like immediately. I was like, "Okay." I thought he was gonna say no because he was trying to get me to get some sketches from him and stuff. I was like, this is the last day. I'm like, it's like I've done all my buying, but yeah, this is a grail for some people and. I don't know what's wrong with this book. If anybody asks me, I have no idea because there's no spine ticks.
Man, it's just like we'll mark it at 9.4.
And what I got? Last but not least, I gotta show this one off before we go. I mean, I'll show the last 2, but one of my personal grails, one of my favorites, Black Panther. First appearance of T'Challa. I mean, this probably as well as, other people who've seen this movie. Like, this movie, in my opinion, was one of the best movies I've seen. The money that it made in America kind of proves it.
What sold me on that whole movie was Killmonger, man. That was like one of the best, realest villains I'd seen in a while.
And then what he was trying to do was not... Like it was kind of messed up, but it wasn't. I understand where he was coming from. I understand what he was coming from.
And his death scene though, that the line at the end, I was just like, when he laid that out there, I was like, man, that needs to be on a t-shirt. And like they started putting them on t-shirts, I was like,
but yeah, to me it was like it just proved that a movie like that can be made and people can kind of know what I'm hitting on. It made 800, 900 million in the U.S. Yeah. It like Aquaman might pass it up. Let's say Aquaman passes it up, but Aquaman numbers foreign is like 700 million. It only made 200 million in the U.S. People don't want to see a guy in water in the U.S. So it's so it's kind of funny that how that market is kind of different depending on U.S. and foreign, you know.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
But here are the last two of hustle of the year. Journey and Mystery 83. For first store was not looking to get this, but happy I did, and I'll show the other one with it. But I got to take that old foggy bag off. But you know, Ninja Turtles #1 first print, exclusive stuff that you're gonna see on my Instagram tomorrow. But yeah, these are two books I got, you know, that I think, you know, they really mean a lot to me. This one more so than Thor. But when I get those those Marvel tiers, like can't wait to like line those up. Like, you know, you have, you know, Tales of Smiths, X-Men, Thor, AF-15. You have all those lined up, man. That's just killer. Like I could get rid of like some of these other books in my collection just to get those other big, you know, big tier ones. And then be like, have it set up like you, but I'll only have like maybe 6 books. They'd be like, what's the rest of your collection? It is my collection.
Like right there, you don't see them.
And also shout out to Reggie again, because I actually thought about it before, but I never told people, like, get that insurance on your collection if you can, because it's well worth it. It's like a payment for a year. Like it's one yearly payment, and you get to enjoy your books without having to go to a vault or a store, you know.
Yeah.
So,
but I remember back in the day, you used to say you used to have like a lot, like you went somewhere to drop your books off, and you would go put them there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when I started doing my research about the insurance companies, I found a good one, and you know, you can keep your books at home. If you have them at a storage facility, you know, it's a little cheaper. But if you keep them at home, you still, you know, I think I paid $300 for the year for my insurance. And what else? I can take them to shows. Like if I, you know, go to, like, say if I wish I can go to C2E2 with you guys, but I got 3 weddings this year. So
man.
But I could have took these up there with me to C2E2. To show off or whatever, or, you know, show everybody, and it still be covered.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's why I dig it like that, you know, man. So it's well worth it if people are looking to get it. So, you know, if you have even if you have some smaller keys, lesser stuff, get it, because you want to protect your collection at the end of the day. So
yeah, that's what my wife seen that video. She's like, "Well, you better do that," and I was like, "All right." So yeah, I did the same.
Mine did too. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it." And she said, "You did it yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did it." You got to, man. You got to. I mean, like I said, like you can see it. Like a lot of people, like, you know, might not. You know, you can see it in our faces. We really enjoy the stuff, and I would hate for anything to happen.
Oh man!
And,
I remember I had a dream one night. It was actually a nightmare. That's what it was. It was a nightmare.
It's not a dream.
It wasn't even a dream. It was a nightmare. I came home and like I got like, you know, I got like a pit bull and a couple other little dogs or whatever. But I came home and like it's in the dream. Like I came home from work and like when I come in, you know, I got the mantle up there, so I always look at my stuff. And I came in and like there was nothing there. And then like I went to my boxes, there was nothing in the boxes, and everything else was in the house, but all my books were gone. And I was sick, dude. I woke up, I was like sweating and stuff. I looked around, I was like, I got up from the bed and came to the living room, turned on all the lights, looked around, checked all my boxes. I was like, man, that was the weirdest dream ever. And I was just like, I was on extra, like, you know, cautious mode then. I was just like, man. Like,
I was like that until I got the insurance. I ain't gonna lie. I was so so nervous. You're like, man, I hope I don't have a fire. Somebody break in my house. Then I thought about where I lived. I said, well, if somebody broke in my house, they wouldn't even know what this crap is. They'd take my TV and my Xbox.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I gotta get this insurance because I'm freaking out too much.
Yeah. That's how I was. I was like, man, hold on. But
I mean, I don't know if you're about to end it, but you know, I had a great time.
Oh, I'm glad you came on, man.
Yeah, I had a great time. I had a great time in the chat, reading the chat while it's scrolling by. This was very fun. I mean, I would love to do this again because, like I said, the year's not done. Like, I'm trying to get one more off that list, and it might be a short. It might be a short my Grail video because it might be one book. But
I'm like,
trying to
hey,
get one more.
We can just have it just hold it up the whole time and we'll talk.
But it's like, this is a great idea. This, the what's your Grail, because everybody's Grail is different. Everybody considers different Grails, and it gives people an opportunity to know that if you stay focused and you work hard enough, you can get them. It might take longer than it took for other people, but a lot of these books are obtainable. Besides the ones I talked about earlier, like the Detective 27 and the Batman 1. Yeah, those might be, you might have to sell your house and your soul.
Yep.
And you still might not have the book. But but I mean, these other books that we're showing, like they're not out of reach yet. And I don't think they will, because they have so many different grades out there. You can get a 0.5 that looked amazing. I had a Avengers 1 0.5. Looked like a 9.0, but it had something cut out of it, so they gave it a 0.5. And you don't even know that because it's inside the interior. They cut like a coupon out, Yeah. So you gotta get the things when you can get them, and it's enjoy them. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah, it's like I said. If you don't got a grade, man, you can't get in the game. That's what I tell people all the time. It don't matter if it's a low grade.
Yeah.
Mid grade, high grade.
Low grade is better than no grade.
That's right. And it's like you just gotta get, like, if you want that book bad enough, don't listen to what other, you collect how you want to collect. Don't let nobody tell you. It's your money you're spending on your hobby. So nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong as long as you do what you want to do. And if that's your book that you want to get and it's a 0.5, it's restored, or if it's a qualified, but whatever it is, but as long as you got that book and you're happy with it, that's how you collect. Nobody can tell you how to collect. Nobody can tell you how to drive your car. Nobody can tell you how to, where you're gonna live. So how they gonna tell you how to collect? So just do what you're gonna do, man.
And even if, like you said, you get that 0.5 restore, whatever it is, that's just your stepping stone. Just realize that's just your stepping stone. You can use that book to get a better copy.
Yep.
I've done it with, like I said, the ASM 129. I've had an 8.0, went up to 8.5. I got rid of 8.5, and then I didn't get another 8.5. I was like, I can't get past the 8.5. And then got the 9.4. So you just gotta, it's a slow burn. Remember, like, it's a slow burn, and it's you don't have to go things 100 miles an hour. Yeah. Like you said, you got that 2.5, and it's like doubled. I guarantee if you really wanted to, you probably get a 4.0.
Oh yeah, and it's like,
and probably have a little bit of money in the pocket.
Yeah,
because of what you have into that book. So I'd say go for it. Don't let people, like you said, don't let people tell you what to do. Do not, don't be discouraged. That's about it I can say.
And if you're in the middle of doing a deal and it falls through, just know that, man, there's another deal out there. You'll find another deal. And it might come to you, might hit you in the face, and you won't even know it. And then it's like how WhoDat said, he wasn't planning on getting, the first appearance of Thor or Ninja Turtles 1, but it hit him in the face. And I was like, hey, you need me.
And I was like, oh man, I'm probably not going to get an opportunity again. yeah, because you don't know. You don't know if you're going to get an opportunity again. So you gotta jump when it's there. Yeah, I passed up on other opportunities for Ninja Turtles #1 mainly because I didn't have the money, and I didn't want to trade at that time. I didn't want to trade anything, and then I kind of flipped my script. I was like, all right, if I had these books, would I feel happy about my collection, complete? And I said, yeah. Would I be upset that I got rid of some of these other books? I'd be, yeah, but could I live with it? Yes.
Yeah.
And that was the last thing. When I said I could live with it, then I'm good.
So if y'all enjoyed WhoDat, he's going to be with us on Monday on To Slab or Not to Slab. and he's gonna pull out some more of his amazing books to show off. And y'all get to decide if he has those slappable books or not. So be there Monday with me, WhoDat Comics and Movies, Jeffrey Comic Con, JD, and the sick one himself, Economics and Comics, as we decide, is it slab or not to slab? Is it slab worthy? So he'll be with us Monday. Tomorrow, be here tomorrow for the hunt on my channel. JD, Jeffrey, and Comics with Bueller will be here as a special guest, and we're doing shiny covers. So who's got the best shiny cover and who's got the hustle of the week? And we're all gonna bring that fire. So you got anything you want to say before we go?
Like I said earlier, thank you for having me. I can't wait to hang out with the guys on Monday. Everybody in the chat, appreciate you guys. I got to go back and watch the video just to read the chat. But I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thanks all the people, anybody who's subbing me up because I can't look at it at the same time. But people that like my little Grail video, I'll try to do a part 3, probably a shorter version, because some people asked me to do a part 3. But I kind of wanted to do this as a part 3. That's why I kind of talked about things. So I still might drop one out there. You never know. But check out my channel. And like I said, just be ready for another Grail probably before the end of the year, or a big boy book like we like to say, or like Legend likes to say, might be a Big Daddy book. So thank you for everybody, and shout out to all of the people who had shows today. If you checked us out and you liked us, thank you so much. Also check out those other channels, because they had some good videos today. So that's all I got to say is, man, thank you for having me. I had a fun time, man. Fun.
Man, thank you for being on here, man. Y'all have a good night, and we'll catch you in the next video.